guess somebody can hear us. Can you hear me? Are you ignoring me?
I can hear you. I muted because I
Oh.
thought we were going on the air. You had to talk to Rick. He's in there.
Oh, these stupid strike through. They can hear us? Or is Robert just messing with us?
I don't know. I have
This would
no
be a great
idea.
start to his show.
This will be typical. Like, as soon as I unmute, then the show's going to start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Apparently,
now they hear it.
They hear us now. Wait, okay, we gotta have an intro. Time to
Okay,
recoup. Ready?
awesome.
Ready? This is kind of like
Yeah.
the show before the show. We like it. All right.
Okay.
Oh, that's not the intro.
Two hosts that are different from those that aren't so different. It's Angie. It's Paul. It's real, serious nonsense.
I'm so happy that you guys are here and that you got to listen to that. Like, us not actually knowing that the show had started. It's so typical of our show. It's like anybody who's listening for the first time, that's what our show is like. Exactly. Right?
That's what you should expect if you're new listening to this podcast. You should always expect us to screw something up. Our producer sucks.
Hey, wait a second. Us. I was going to say this is the producer. Who is who? Who is the producer of the show?
I'm not sure, but I have no idea why this guy still has a job.
That would be Clay. This is real serious nonsense with Angie and Clay. And Clay is the one who produces the show.
Clay
and says,
produces the show. I'm Pole. You gotta remember, I got 3 personalities kicking here. So.
Oh, that's right. That's right. But I thought that was funny, though. I was sitting there on mute listening to the stupid Christmas rave music, and then you say, hey, can you hear me? And I unmute as soon as I unmute and say, yeah, I mean, I can hear you, but I was muted because I thought we were starting the show. And then, of course, everybody starts typing, we can hear you now.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Well, the podcast, I'll leave all the Christmas rave music in because that's still there. So I knew we were connected. I was afraid to hit that. I know what the instructions Rick sent me said. I know that the instructions said stop, but when it says to hit stop and the warning it said about disconnecting all the listeners, I was like, we're lucky if we've got 3 people here tonight. With my poor advertising. That you've been with me about all week.
Hey, we actually are doing pretty good. We have like 17 in the chat, so
yeah,
that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy about that. These are people who just love us. There are some people who showed up they can't even listen. They're not even listening to what we're saying. They're just in the chat to support us and say, hey, we love you, but I can't listen right now. That's how awesome we have of people who are here.
We've got a great core, so when we're insulting, people that listen to our show, it's not you guys. We love the core. We're laughing at the fact that we only got 10 people. And damn it, I love the 10 people, but it's only 10 people.
Yes, me too. I love them. I love them. So, hey, did you like the show poster this week? I loved it. Let's make a bad deal.
Oh, I think we should actually take a second to thank K98 Talk before we really get started. Even though we started late.
You did that. Okay, yeah, we did start late. Okay, but you did that because you're better at being like really like that.
I'm not actually that good at it. But I want to thank Rick for having us here. In case anybody's wondering, we did move. If you haven't heard yet, just because Thursdays are like the worst day. It's like the demon day of the week for us. Angie's family's stuff's got stuff going on. I have stuff going on Thursday, so it was very rough for us to do Thursday. And unfortunately, there wasn't another day of the week available where we were prior. So they graciously accepted us here to, kind of let us find out what worked with us. We worked something out. So we are here on 9 o'clock on Mondays. Daniel's here 10 o'clock right after us, which we absolutely love because Dan is the man. I don't know if he likes Dan or not, so I won't call him Dan. And then Bunny is on Wednesdays at 9, and then these are all Eastern time. And then Jason DeWilkins, the man of 1,000 voices, is on at 10 p.m. on Wednesday. So make sure you find everybody, check them out. That's all I got.
And we are really thankful. They've been really accommodating. We really appreciate it. Everybody knows who's listened to the podcast. My health totally sucks snot. Like, it's just horrible. And Thursdays were killing me. Like, seriously, I just had stuff going on from 5 o'clock in the morning until literally I would walk in the door at about 9 o'clock at night, and the show started at 10. And it was just, I was dead tired. And it was just really bad. I mean, my brain runs slow anyway, and no like jokes about how stupid I am. But my brain runs slow anyway, and on those nights it was even worse. So we really, really, really do appreciate it. And we appreciate all you guys showing up. I'm so happy you guys showed up for us. Really appreciate it. So tonight we are talking about kind of like a game show theme. It's let's make a bad deal. And let's start out with, just start out right on the top of it. The deal for Bergdahl was like a horrible deal, don't you think?
Yes, I actually have some sounds to go along with this deal.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's Mario?
Yeah.
Yay, I'm so proud.
It's not really a game show, but it's kind of like a game. That's one that really resonates with me because I absolutely loved that game when I was a kid. I think Mario is almost as old as I am. I think he actually might be older.
Mario is probably as old as I am.
I don't know. I don't know about
old.
That. Come on now.
Yes, come on.
Well,
yes. Maybe not as old as I am.
This one here is as old as you are. That was the wrong one. Damn it! I got ahead of myself.
Pac-Man?
Yes, Pac-Man.
Pac-Man. I love Pac-Man.
And I just kind of gave the
Mario
the
isn't.
The,
Adam just called me 25. I think that Adam wants to stop being president of Pointless Nation, and he wants to move over to the Spy Dolphin Mafia because he's really nice to me now.
Yeah, he's buttering you up. Seems like the factions have stopped going to war. I'm glad that the Mafia and the nation were able to unite a little bit.
Hey, what are you talking about reuniting? We are never going to unite with you.
What?
What kind of talk is that? Uniting? That's a worse deal than like the Bergdahl deal, like the traitor for 5 terrorists. I would trade Bergdahl and for 5 terrorists before I unite with the stupid Pointless Nation.
Ouch! That sounds like a really bad deal.
I'm just kidding. I hope that like the new listeners understand that we have like such a good relationship. We actually really like each other. Seriously, we actually like each other. I just like to pick on him. I'm just teasing him. I don't really mean that. Well, I kind of don't mean it. In a way, I do mean it, but I kind of don't mean it.
Kind of. So though she likes me so much, she doesn't understand why anybody would be a fan of Pole like Adam is. So she tries to demean and degrade my fans, which I don't think is right because I love your fans, Angie. I know everybody's an Angie fan. I may have like 2 or 3, but my fans are awesome. Your 100 fans are great. My 2 fans are even better. Just saying.
I have 100 fans. Who are my fans? I don't think that I really have that many fans. Now, I do have some people who particularly like my laugh for some reason that I can't figure out. But I wouldn't call them fans. I would just call them weird.
Great. Now you're going to try to chase away your fans. We've got 22 people in the chat, Angie. Don't ruin this.
It's the most people we're ever going to have, and we're not even going to be able to keep them because they're going to be like, what kind of show is this? They've spent we started late. We didn't know we were on the air, and then we've spent time, like 5 seconds talking about Bergdahl and the other 20 talking about like sounds and how much that Spy Dolphin Mafia hates Pointless Nation.
Right. Okay, so let's go back to Bergdahl because we want to make a good first impression for these listeners.
That's going to be so hard after this. I mean, we're already 13 minutes in.
I couldn't find a good whammy sound effect. It was supposed to be whammies, so.
That was a horrible whammy.
Look, I didn't realize I didn't have this stuff about 10 minutes before the show, so I was just like ripping sounds from YouTube before we started. So.
That was a horrible whammy.
So this whole Bergdahl thing.
Better than that.
This guy, this Bergdahl guy, That's his name, right? I didn't really see. Now you've got me all off base. Is anybody,
I like that.
So I don't know. Obama is a terrible negotiator. If Obama
He's
were
a horrible.
right, if Obama were living in times where we bartered for things, Obama would starve. Just saying.
He would. He's the person that like is when you go to the flea market and they think that they're getting a really good deal and they get home and they spent like $100 and have some sort of like wash tub stool or something that probably cost the person like $2 to make it.
Right.
That's Obama.
Right. Obama would be the person I would search out because I like finding things on Craigslist and like SwipSwap on Facebook. And getting stuff from there. I'd go to like Obama's house and be like, "Hey, how much you want for that boat?" He'd be like, "Oh, it's $1,000, right?" And then he would like, I would say, "Oh, how about $900?" He'd be like, "Oh, no, $500 and take these 2 4-wheelers with it." I mean, this is what Obama would do.
Yes, it is. That's really good. And I like your voice that you used for the person. Like, you suddenly turned really Southern, and you don't usually have that much of a Southern accent. But when you were the Craigslist person, you suddenly got really Southern.
Yeehaw.
I like it. I like it.
Sweet.
But I love that this guy, all right, he was charged with desertion, right? But the thing is, like, he's trying to say he didn't like he couldn't stay at his base because he had problems with like the leadership or whatever. And so he's trying to say he was leaving the base to walk to another one to tell them, about his problems because he didn't feel comfortable talking about the managerial problems or whatever to his leaders. And so he was leaving base to walk and tell somebody else. That's his story. Okay. Do you buy this?
Do you have that option? I don't think you have that option in the military.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think there's a problem. That would be one of the biggest problems. Is that
How are we making you feel today, Bergdahl? How are your feelings doing today?
I know, because every time
I'm way off today.
when you enter the military, though, like, I mean, there is a chain of command, and you go up the chain of command whether you think that officer is going to listen to you or not. I mean, there's a way that you do things, and you don't really have a choice in the matter. So right. I just am finding it kind of,
It just
I'm not buying it.
It doesn't add up. And besides, didn't he ask people where he could find whoever they were looking for? Was it Al Qaeda or?
Yeah, he asked along the way. Like, I mean, there were reports. I don't know exactly, like, if they confirmed that or not. But I know that the military did charge him with desertion. So, therefore, Obama made the worst deal in history. We released 5 terrorists, and we got a traitor, basically. So, no matter how he wants to spin it, that's a bad deal. It's a really bad deal.
That's a horrible deal. Horrible.
I can't think of very much worse. And that was a pretty good one.
Yeah, I thought so. That was good.
I can't think of much worse. Although this Iran nuclear deal might be shaping up to be a little bit worse. I mean, believe it or not, I think it might be a little bit worse. And with John Kerry running around, he makes everything, like, if Obama wasn't bad, it's like he has a partner to make it even worse with John Kerry. Every time I hear something about it, I'm like, really? Are they serious? They really want to make this deal. What is wrong with these people? Like, what is wrong with them? I don't get it.
I think
Obama and Kerry and like everybody, every single person that's in that cabinet in the State Department from I don't care who it is, even just an intern that's like walking around in the Oval Office at this moment, they all have issues.
But
serious.
Russia is going to watch the materials. We can trust Russia. Russia's awesome.
Oh my God. That's what they're saying. Like, saying that Russia is going to watch their enriched uranium is supposed to make that better. Excuse me, didn't Russia just like take over Crimea and all of that without permission? We're going to trust Russia? Really? That's a thing? We're going to allow them to have centrifuges, and we're going to let Russia protect the enriched uranium. That sounds like the worst deal ever.
It's like letting Cookie Monster guard the Keebler Elf stash.
Yes, it is. That is a good example. It's exactly like that. That's crazy. Who does this? Oh, that's a good Cookie Monster impression. I'm impressed.
Yeah, that's the best. Now I have two impressions. I have Bunny and I have Cookie Monster. Awesome.
You don't have Bunny. You don't do a good Bunny at all. You do a horrible Bunny, as a matter of fact.
My Bunny is awesome. Don't knock me.
It's really bad. Cookie Monster's good. Bunny is bad. But your Bunny impression is as bad as that Iran nuke deal. I mean, seriously. It's bad. It's really bad. That one's The Price is Right, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm going through these a lot quicker than I expected, so we'll be out of them soon.
Just so that you know, the only person who is saying that you do a decent Bunny impression is Daniel. He's the only person. Everybody else is like, yeah, it stinks.
Daniel knows a good impression when he hears it.
Yeah, Daniel does great impressions. You, however, do not. I can't speak though because I can't do any impressions. Like all of my impressions just sound like me. I would just say like whatever the person would say, except for your impression. I do a really good poll. What was my voice last week for you? Oh, I don't know how to start the show.
That's a horrible poll impression. That should be our next poll on Polititainment is who does a better impression. Do I do a better Bunny impression or does Angie do a better poll impression?
I do a better poll impression. Is what? Hey, I can't hear you. Unmute. We haven't started the show yet. Oh, can they hear us now? See, that is great. I love it. I think that's wonderful. I think it's fabulous. It's so good. It's made me laugh, and I need to get a drink of water. So let's go to break, and we'll be right back.
Are you currently waging war against the infidel? Dreaming of the day you can become a martyr and yet Allah Akbar with bombs strapped to your chest? Stop! You don't commit acts of terror over religious fanaticism. You commit acts of terror because you don't feel you have a chance to earn a career. Well, now you can find a career that's right for you at
jihadjobs.com.
At jihadjobs.com, you'll find dream careers like camel breeder, goat shaver, hummus chef, desert realtor, and so much more. You'll also find those careers with competitive pay and other tremendous benefits like extended bereavement time if your family member was a suicide bomber, 48 hours of maternity leave,
Not for women.
and much more. Introduce yourself to another bank besides the West Bank. Stop waging war against the USA and start contributing to your 401k. Stop raping, start reaping the rewards of an exciting career at
jihadjobs.com.
your new career is just a stone's throw away. jihadjobs.com.
Website is for men only and approved under Sharia law. All women who access the website will be stoned to death. Other restrictions apply. Consult Allah for details.
Jihad.
Hey, it's Cliff Davis from KLCI FM, the best radio station in the world. Coming soon. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. It's Real Serious Nonsense. I am so glad that you guys have stayed. Like, we actually got some people in the chat, and they're actually staying there. I'm so impressed with us.
It's amazing. I didn't think without the Bunny lead-in we were actually going to have more than 10 people. So,
Well, I have to be
you
honest.
forcing me to tweet today worked well, I guess. Right?
Yeah, and I also sent a private message to some people and said, "Please show up. Please show up for us." So, I love you guys for showing up for us. It's very, very nice. We do appreciate it.
We didn't promise them free stuff, right? Because I don't have any free stuff to give them.
I don't. What are we going to promise them? Free stuff? I don't even have anything. Like, I mean,
I've got a beer cap right here by my computer.
I promised them that we would be live, and we barely made that one. So, you know, that's about it. I promised we would be live, and that's about. And I promised that I would probably laugh once in a while, and so, you know, that's about as much as I promise. I try not to promise anything I can't keep. But you know,
right?
I mean,
I know everything.
Okay, let's get back to bad deals. Listen to this. Here's a really bad deal. All right, University of Georgia. They've told the student body that. All right, University of Georgia. You understand that Georgia is like southern, right? It's a southern state, correct?
Correct.
You get that? Okay. University of Georgia has told like all of the fraternities and stuff when they do like the costumes, and so, you know, sometimes they have costume parties and stuff, especially on Greek Row. They can't wear hoop skirts anymore, like the big dresses, like the southern dresses, gone with the wind types of dresses, hoop skirts with the little parasol and all that stuff. They can't do it anymore because they're racist. It's racist to wear like the hoop skirt and all of that now.
What's a parasol? Is that like something they can float around with?
The parasol, like the little tiny little umbrellas that the southern ladies used to have to like shield them from the sun and stuff. Like it would match their dress. Like if you're wearing the big fancy like yellow dress, then they got the little tiny little umbrella, but it's thinner. It's not going to like keep water out because it's usually made of like fabric and stuff like that.
So does this make umbrellas racist as well? Is Mary Poppins racist?
No, that's not. It's not the umbrellas. It's the hoop skirts that are racist, apparently. But they're kind of shaped like umbrellas. You know what a hoop skirt is?
Yeah, I have an idea.
Okay, like, have you ever seen Gone with the Wind?
You asked me that, and you already know the answer.
You haven't seen it, have you? I
No.
am so ashamed of you. Really? You really haven't seen Gone with the Wind?
It sounds boring. I don't want to see that.
Oh my god! You have to watch it. Like you have to see Gone with the Wind. It's just like a thing that you have to be able to see, or you suck. Like, I mean, that's just it. Whether you like it or not, you have to see Gone with the Wind. Cranky says, frankly, Paul, you don't give a beaver's damn. That's funny. That amused me. Okay, well, anyway, they're the big giant, like, you know, the skirt comes around. It's like somebody put a hula hoop in the bottom of the skirt, and they're really big and fluffy, and people wore them in the South. Just because something bad happened during the time period when they were popular, slavery, it doesn't make the actual hoop skirt or the people, you know, wearing that or dressing up like that racist.
Well, I would think that in that case, dressing up like an Egyptian would also be racist, right?
Yes.
Right. So
I would
Pharaoh's
think so.
out. We should go in and burn any mummy or any cat statue. You'd like that cat statue in any of these museums.
I'm all for burning any cat statues. I'm all for it.
Any of these hieroglyphics translators, all those need to be destroyed.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Got it. Any African art, any of the the art that they had from over there, all that stuff needs to be destroyed too.
Yep.
All gone.
I agree.
Just demolished.
And sweet tea, if you're drinking sweet tea, that's racist, apparently. Anything Southern is going to be racist now. If the wardrobe that we wore was racist during that time makes it racist, then anything like that. I mean, tobacco, chewing tobacco, racist. Tea, racist. It's all racist. Anything to do with being in the South at all is racist. That's what I think. Well, I don't really think that. But that's apparently what University of Georgia thinks. Can you believe that? I think that's insane. My accent is racist. Right. That's what Robert just said. Angie's accent is racist.
Totally racist. I agree. How do I follow that up? I can't. I cannot follow that up.
You can't follow up like the whole big racist rant. Okay, well, here's another bad deal. Are you ready? I thought that this would go really well since last week's poop plane went so well with the segment. I have found another poop segment, but this time it's even worse. Are you ready?
Okay, got it.
Okay. In Virginia, there's a condominium, and they are tired of people like apparently stepping in dog poop. So they are making the people who like live in the condo get poop tested, like DNA testing. If they find it out on the sidewalk, they go through the DNA testing. They put everybody's dog registration, like all their DNA, and have it on file. And so they are going to find out who in the world is letting their dog poop on the sidewalk, and then they get it tested. They are charged like money. The fines run from $50 to $500 depending on where the dog pooped at, and they also have to pay for the testing, which is like $90, and then a $10 processing fee on top of that. Can you believe this? I think that's a really bad deal. I think it's a really, really bad deal.
Yeah, this really takes the. This is a homeowners association, I'm assuming, right?
Well, it's a condominium, so yeah, it's like that's just the rules for living in the condo. If you're going to have a pet, you have to have the DNA on file, and then there's certain places that you're supposed to take the dog, and if he does it somewhere else, you're supposed to clean it up, which I understand. Yes, you should clean up after your dog.
I just homeowners associations. When I lived in South Carolina, I lived under a homeowners association. These things are like modern day. Well, I guess it still kind of goes on. It still happens, but it's just like living under a communist regime. Like,
yeah, they are. They're like little mini communists. Like we can't have if we want to get a fence, you have to get it approved by like a board, and like it has to be a certain kind of fence. Like if I decided I wanted to get like be all redneck white trash or something, I can't just like put a chain link fence in my backyard. I have to get like a certain kind approved, and we're not allowed to do like chain links or anything like that.
We weren't allowed to do chain link fence, and I wanted to put up a fence for my dogs up there, but it was like I was on this pond, and they required that the fence not be over like 36 inches, and the pickets had to be 2 inches. I mean, they had the measurements of the pickets down. The picket couldn't be more than 1 inch wide, and the pickets had to be more than 2 inches apart. So I'm thinking with a 3-foot high fence and these little tiny wooden pickets that my pit bulls would just kind of like run right through the fence or over the fence. I don't think the fence would actually hold the dogs in. So it kind of defeated the purpose of the fence. It might hold in like a poodle. Like a little poodle, like a toy poodle. Because a big poodle.
It would hold in my little doggy. He's a little tiny little thing. But it's like a bunch of crazy leftists are running like every homeowners association. They come in and they run it. It's like they're not even starting with local government anymore. They're starting with homeowners association and then moving into school boards and then like the local government stuff. The leftists are taking over from beginning to end. I'm not kidding. They are. They're crazy and they like get in it.
Yeah, homeowners association is kind of like you have like your own like code enforcement that lives in your neighborhood. That like anytime something's wrong, I mean, these people are driving by your house every day. Oh, look, their pickets are out there tape measures with the pickets, measuring that stuff. So, but the code enforcement kind of brought me to the other story that I sent you. I don't know if it's a bad deal or not, but I said that to you, and I'm kind of like, so the story is basically this. In Berkeley County, which is on the north side of Charleston, there's code enforcement officers. I mean, we all have code enforcement officers everywhere, and they too, in a lot of cases, are just like these communist regimes that you have in the homeowners association. For some reason, they issued the code enforcement officers service pistols to go around with to measure your pickets, to make sure your trash cans are in the right spot, to go around and make sure people aren't dumping trash off somewhere, to make sure you have the right number of hurricane ties on your buildings and stuff like that. So code enforcement officers were issued pistols.
That's weird.
And read the article more. The county I lived in when I was up there, actually, their code enforcement. They took the pistols away from these guys. And some people are up in arms. They're taking pistols. They issued pistols to these people. Now, I'm all for guns rights. If they own a gun and they want to carry the gun to make themselves feel more safe, I'm fine with that because they should have that freedom. But we shouldn't be giving them guns. Their line of work is not dangerous.
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree. Unless, but it's Berkeley, right?
Berkeley County.
It's yeah, so that's different. I mean, if they're trying to enforce a certain kind of code and they're living in the middle of Chicago or Detroit, I can understand. we might need a pistol, but
Berkeley County.
Otherwise,
you know where Berkeley County is, right? Are you familiar with that area? It's
I'm thinking Berkeley, California.
No, this is South Carolina. This is Berkeley.
Oh, it's in South
County
Carolina.
in South Carolina, which is basically, everybody's ever been to Charleston. Mount Pleasant is like the East Beach side. I mean, this is where Berkeley County is. Mount Pleasant is in Berkeley County. Yes. It lives up to its name. It's extremely high end, and it does stretch further north up into Awendaw and all these other very rural places nobody's ever heard of. But they don't need pistols there.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
Freeze! Are you recycling?
Well, they are kind of really strict, especially in Charleston area, about your house. You have to have your shutter. It's all you have to go through the whole historic board and all that kind of stuff.
I know, and I don't want these people having guns.
Why would they need a gun to enforce it? I mean, I'm not against them. They can carry a gun. I mean, I don't care, but I don't think that people
get on the ground, pig. Your house isn't an approved color.
I like it. I like it. This is supposed to be sunshine yellow, and it's obviously cornrow or something like that. Goldenrod. It's goldenrod. I like it. It's nice. Right. So you are against code enforcement pistols.
Correct. Yes, that's the reason I know it's sending you that story. I know a lot of people on the right would probably say, I want these people to have guns. I'm for them having guns. If they want to have their own guns, I'm not going to issue a code enforcement officer a gun.
Yeah,
it's
I
unnecessary.
Agree with that. I'm all with that.
And the picture with this article was this guy was out in the middle of nowhere, in those real low country areas where there's the marshes and stuff. This guy's digging through a bag of trash, trying to determine somebody dropped this bag of trash in the swamp somewhere, and he's digging through the trash to find out whose trash this is to be able to find them. That was the picture they used for the article. I mean, this sounds like a dangerous line of work.
It does. It sounds pretty dangerous. I mean, enforcing house colors and fence height.
Right.
It could be dangerous. Now, like you said, I don't care. They could carry a gun, but I don't see people issuing it to them. That's ridiculous.
Right. Yeah, I'm not trying to infringe on anybody's Second Amendment rights here. What I'm saying is I should not be spending the money and carrying the liability of handing this person a pistol.
You want to talk about something else that was stupid that happened? I guess it was this week. That lady on MSNBC, I don't know who she was. She was on MSNBC with the chick from Salon. And she said, because Ted Cruz said he was listening to country music, she said country music promotes killing Muslims. She was trying to be funny, I guess. But stupid, what's her face, Joan Walsh was going along with her. That was a normal thing.
Was it Joan Walsh? I didn't hear. I didn't see. I knew that somebody dissented from them, and then said that. And it said that they know plenty of country music songs that are not about killing Muslims. And I was trying to think. I don't really know one that's about killing Muslims.
It was Ari Melber, and I don't know who. I don't really know her. I don't. They were on with Alex Wagner, which who knows who that is either. Who watches? 8 people watch MSNBC. So, I don't even know who that is. So let's see. It's Ebony.com senior editor Jamila Lemou. I guess that's how you pronounce it. She says, nothing says let's go kill some Muslims like country music.
I don't know what her impression of country music is. I've never heard them talk about, other than, let's say, that Toby Keith song where he wants to go shove a boot in somebody's ass. But
But
I don't
that's
think
not even racist, though. Like,
No,
I mean,
right. It's not. I can't think of one song that says, let's go kill some Muslims. So I'm not turning this into another topic by any means, but rap music talks about killing cops, like explicitly, very verbally.
it's F the police. I mean, constantly. There's song like actually named that. But Joan Walsh, which is, she's the editor at Salon, right?
Oh yeah.
She comes in and she makes it just as bad. She's like, "What an idiot! Can you say pander? I mean, come on. Has he ever heard of Bruce Springsteen? Like, what?
What?
Bruce Springsteen is not even country. Like, they're just picking on him because he was in Virginia and he said that he liked country music. Basically, they were just offended that he couldn't pick another kind of music. That's basically what it was. They were just like upset about like the kind of music that he picked.
This story was about Ted Cruz, right?
Yes, it's about Ted Cruz. He was at Liberty University in Virginia. And they just didn't like it. Because he said, his statement, he was listening to country music after 9/11. That was the comment.
Yeah.
And apparently they just didn't like that he was listening to different kind of music after 9/11. What in the world? I mean, I just didn't get it. I don't even understand why they even came up with her route in the first place. Like, what was her route?
I think it was just a way to dig at Ted Cruz. I mean, they kind of grasped. I think she was doing what we do and just kind of winging it. There's no way that was a planned statement.
Right. It couldn't have been. I don't know. I just found it ridiculous. I found it really ridiculous, actually. Almost as ridiculous, but not quite, as this women's conference. There was a women's campaign conference that was going on in U.S., and I apologize, I'm not even really sure what that stands for. But these are the people who said that you couldn't clap. Like, they didn't want people clapping during the conference because it would trigger people. Like, they actually tweeted this out. No clapping, and instead they were doing jazz hands.
And
Can you believe this?
No whooping either.
Yeah, and no whooping because it was distracting.
It wasn't that it was distracting. It was stressful. They said that
one
would
of them
stress
was
people
triggering.
out.
Yeah, one of them was triggering, and one of them was no whooping. The whooping wasn't. Well, I guess the whooping could have been triggering too, but they were saying that you shouldn't do that either. But this is at this conference. Like, jazz hands, really? Is this feminism is awful. It's just awful. I don't care what anybody says. It is awful. It is awful. These people
I
are
know
not.
who complained about this. Who said that this is just stressing me out? I mean, if you're stressed out by applause, you literally can't go anywhere. You can't go to like a second grade recital if applause stresses you out.
Applause is my trigger. Please,
if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
No,
Stop it!
I know and I mean, just think about it. Like, anywhere you go, there could be some sort of clapping type of noise. I mean, you can't go anywhere. Well, you could be watching TV and that commercial for the clapper could come on, and you'd be like, "Oh,
right.
I'm dying."
Right. So they have to. They clearly have to discontinue the clapper because that's going to end. Yeah, that's going to cause trouble. Forgot what I was saying.
I'm sorry.
And for that matter, they might need to do away with that with the lingo for the STD, the clap. I think that might cause some stress for some people too. So that's got to go away.
Yo, I knew that was going to happen. I knew it. How did I know that was going to happen? I almost didn't even want to talk about this story because I knew you were somehow going to tie it to STDs.
I wasn't going to. I didn't think about that till just now, and that's the reason I stuttered so bad at the end of that, because that's where I was going, and I really did try to divert myself. And then I forgot where I was going. I was like, well, I gotta go for broke now because I just completely screwed it up. I ruined
I
the
don't
momentum I
believe
had.
you. Well, we started kind of late and it's already almost quarter till. So let's take one more break. And when we come back, we're going to jump right into the hashtag hodgepodge. And this way it'll give us time to not talk about the clap. Okay?
We here at Polititainment love to read. Well, except Poll, but, anyway. Thing is, we're all super busy, and rarely is there a moment where we can just sit down for an hour and get caught up on the book we've been wanting to read. Many of us just don't have the time. But what we do have is a smartphone, a tablet, and a subscription to Audible.com. You see, Audible.com gives us the ability to get caught up on the books we want to read, but it's the audio version that in many instances is narrated by the author. So this way we can hear a chapter 2 on the way to work, while cutting the grass, or while in the bathroom. Hey, don't act like you don't do that too. And Audible is part of Amazon, so there are hundreds of thousands of books to choose from. If we just described you, a person who loves to read and just doesn't have the time, then we want to hook you up. Go to audibletrial.com/polititainment and you get a free month trial. And that includes one free book. Yes, even new releases, for free. You get a 30-day free trial with no strings attached. And at the same time, you help out your friends at Polititainment. Go to audibletrial.com/polititainment. Get your books on the go by going to audibletrial.com/polititainment today. Thanks.
The name is Dolphin. Spy Dolphin. And I'd like my humor shaken, not stirred.
Real serious nonsense.
If you like your health care plan, you'll be able to keep your health care plan. This is the most transparent administration in history. Not even a smidgen of corruption.
Fact is, we had 4 dead Americans. What difference at this point does it make?
If you got a business, you didn't build that.
The feeling most people get when they hear Barack Obama's speech, I felt this thrill going up my leg. I don't have that too often.
Steady.
It's time to hear the truth about America's biggest challenges. Ricky Robinson, host of America Off the Rails, will tackle the important issues facing America today as he tries to keep America from coming off the track. Get ready to hear the truth every Monday through Friday starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, and on Saturdays at 12 p.m. Eastern and 11 Central here on K98Talk.com and the Spark Radio Network.
Welcome to the face. Welcome to the face of the new democracy.
Welcome back. It's Real Serious Nonsense. I love that intro almost as much as I like the Rickroll one. I don't know why, but like the Humpty Dance has always been a song I like, and I'm slightly ashamed, but not really. It's one of those things that you just have to embrace. So there, I embrace it. But speaking of things that we might be ashamed of, did you hear about Hillary putting out the words? Well, it wasn't actually Hillary. It's just like her supporters. But they have these words that we're not supposed to say about her now. And it's a big deal. And so it kind of like spawned a hashtag, Hillary's banned words. And that is going to be our hashtag hodgepodge. But let me read you some of these words. Polarizing, calculating, disingenuous, insincere, ambitious, inevitable, entitled, overconfident, secretive, will do anything to win, represents the past, out of touch. I think that she is all of these things. Like every single one of those things she is. So I don't see how they can say,
When is ambitious? Since when is ambitious a bad word?
Well, none of them are actually all that, if they describe you, they describe you. I mean the first few are kind of bad.
I mean, calculating sounds bad because you always hear it with cold and calculating. But calculating by itself is actually a good thing.
Ambitious, inevitable, like they shouldn't be like horrible things. Overconfident, I mean, I don't know. Secretive, please don't say secretive. I mean, she only has a secret email server that she wiped clean in her basement. But please don't call her that. I mean, this is just stupid.
Well, it's not a secret email server now because everybody knows that it's there and then it's gone.
But it was secret then. It was secret then. That is the deal. You're just like, whatever, I'm not having any of it.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, that's what inspired Hillary's banned words, which I thought was it was a pretty funny hashtag. It went on for a while. Like, there were tons of tweets in that thing. Tons of them.
I never
But
actually
do you want to
looked
start?
at it. I stole all the tweets you gave me. So
That's nice. Well, that's good. So actually, whenever anybody goes to look at the thing today, when it says polls picks, they're actually still Angie's picks, because I found a lot of them, and I was like, if you want to use some of these, I liked some of these, and he used all of mine. He didn't even go look through the hashtag. He used all of the ones that I sent him, just so that y'all know.
yeah, I didn't want to be. Dang, I already forgot the words I was going to use. I was going to use some Hillary's banned words, but I forgot. I didn't want to be secretive, and I didn't want to mislead. No, what was that word?
You are misleading.
Disingenuous. I didn't want to be disingenuous.
But you are being disingenuous. You're saying they're your picks, and they're really my picks.
Well, in the text I am, but all of our fans. Nobody looks at this article. I think our fans don't even look at this article. I think that this is just kind of for us to read. So it might make these 10 people that got picked feel pretty good.
Well, yeah, that's true. And they'll say, and you know what? It's going to give me more fans. How many fans did I have? I forgot how many I had. But I had 100? Okay, yes. Now I have 110, right? Well, actually, I probably still have 100, because I made at least 10 people angry by making fun of them for liking my laugh.
Sounds about right.
So, okay.
Sounds like good non-common core math.
Okay, all right. Okay, so let's get started with the hashtag hodgepodge. My first one is from the millennial. Sniper fire in Bosnia in the same sentence with the name Hillary Clinton. Those are banned words.
Yes, and it's got a picture of Hillary in like a military thing. It says, "Yes, that's me. Ask Brian Williams."
I like it.
I thought that was pretty good. Lizzie Who, I think Winter Girl is on here every week. Every week.
I know, but I love her. I can't help it. She cracks me up. She's hilarious. If you guys aren't following her on Twitter, you need to. She's absolutely hilarious.
Hillary's banned words. Pumpkin. And she's wearing a pumpkin. A pumpkin pantsuit. Is that a real picture and not a Photoshop?
No, I think I don't have no idea. Either way, it's hilarious. But it's like a pantsuit. It's pumpkin color, but it has that pumpkin face on it, and it's so stupid. It's funny. I like it. Okay, this one is at Paladin of Korea. Paladino of Korea? I don't know. I have no idea what that person's name is. Anyway, it says Hillary's banned words. 3 a.m. phone call. Ouch.
It's clearly Paladin.
Is it Paladin of Korea?
Right. I don't know what that actually is. I know it's something in like Dungeons and Dragons. I've never played Dungeons and Dragons, but from watching like the Big Bang Theory and stuff. Right.
I played Dungeons and Dragons. I was a dwarf.
I guess like art can mimic life, and so can games. Right?
I'm totally not kidding. I was a dwarf. That is hilarious. I never even realized that until this very moment. That's hilarious. Okay. Read your next one.
Is it? Did you read the? Yeah. Okay. Got
yes, I read the Paladin. It's
another common person on our thing. Natasha Fatale. Hillary's banned words.
I love her too.
Yeah, she's great. I sounded sarcastic. I really do love Natasha Fatale. I'm sorry. It did sound sarcastic. And she knows that I do love her. So yes, please. I don't think she listens anyway, so we're fine. Metamucil.
She's in the chat room.
Oh, is she? Damn. It's your turn, Angie. Let's move on.
No, did you read Natasha's?
Yes, Metamucil.
Oh, I like it. Okay, the next one is Waltz Princesses or Princess. I don't know what that is. Her name's Lori. Sir Edmund. Because, you can't say that she was named after him because she lied about it.
Oh, I'd missed that. She lied and said she was named after Sir Edmund?
Yes.
Huh. Interesting. I think Hillary's just a normal girl name.
he climbed Mount Everest, Sir Edmund Hillary. But she says that she was named after. But he had not even climbed it when she was born.
No.
So
well, maybe they just really liked the guy. Was he even knighted at the time? Probably not.
I don't know.
All right, Karen Doe 50. Man, mine are so much easier to read than yours. I did not have text with that server.
I like that one. That one cracked me up. I actually laughed at that like out loud for like 10 minutes when I first read it. That's hilarious. I liked it. Okay, next one is at Politics Peach. It depends on what is. I liked it.
And is that an ISIS reference? Because I think it's in capital letters.
No, it's a Bill Clinton.
Right, I think it's a double entendre.
I think it's both of them too, but it's funny because it depends on what is.
Let's continue to dissect it, and it won't be funny anymore.
It wasn't funny after you said that the first time.
Suze E109 YouTube video.
See, I think that's funny.
It is funny.
Yeah. Okay, here is my number one pick. It's Victor Nicky. He's in the chat room. He's always here. I love him too. If you aren't following him, you need to. And it's Hillary's Banned Words, Juanita Broderick, Kathleen Willie, Jennifer Flowers, Monica Lewinsky, Paula Jones, Elizabeth Ward Grayson, and Dolly Cow. Like it's a whole big list of Bill's women.
Oh, I only know of three of them.
It figures. Well, from the dude who's never even watched Gone with the Wind, I'm so not surprised.
I don't think I could have relations with somebody named Dolly. Just strange.
Because it's like the sheep's name.
Right.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, you have one more.
Pink Art Girl with a U, 59. One server, 2 phones, 3 strikes.
That was good. I liked it.
That is also
okay.
Good. See, I'm not even laughing at them today. I'm too busy just like going off on a tangent. But that's fine.
All right, who do you pick for the winner?
Yeah, I go with Victor. Let's go with Victor.
Okay, yay! That's who I wanted. Victor wins. Woo woo! Good job.
Your 110 fans will outnumber, or your 100 fans will outnumber my 2 voting with me if we go to a Democratic vote. So it's kind of pointless.
This is not a democracy. Real Serious Nonsense is not a democracy. It is totally like a complete, a total. Like I own this. This is me. And then you have
this?
like
wait.
you have a 10th of a vote or something, whatever it is.
What?
You count for a 10th of the vote, and then I get 100% of the vote.
When did
That's
this
how
happen?
it does.
What did I miss?
It's always been like that, and you know it.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I kind of
everybody.
I kind of float on.
I'm just teasing. It's
Yeah,
a 50-50. 50-50 over here. It's 50-50. All right,
50 for you and 50 for you.
Yes, exactly.
I'm just here.
I like it. That's wonderful. Well, it's actually, we have like 3 minutes, and it usually takes us 3 minutes to get through like all of our stupid social media crap. So do you want to do that?
Pointless poll on Twitter, and that's about it. You should also like us on Facebook because we broke 500. Is it 500?
Yes, we did.
And we've actually maintained it for a few days, so let's get up there to where, in case somebody unlikes us like Natasha, so we don't fall below 500.
Okay, and you can follow me on Twitter at artist_Angie, and you should follow at Polititainment on Twitter as well. Even though like none of us ever get on that account and hardly do anything on it, we kind of suck at it. But you can follow us on Facebook at Polititainment as well. And thanks so much K98 for having us over here. Hopefully they'll let us back next week. We are on Mondays at 9 p.m. now, so thank you guys for joining us. We love you, and we'll catch you later. And we love you a whole lot, Natasha. I'm sorry that poll made fun of you. Catch you guys next week.